I want to say again, happy 100th birthday to you. And I first just want to know, before we get into the special, how have you been celebrating your 100th birthday?
Well, the actual birthday, July 27th, we have a place a great many years. It was a Robert Frost farm originally in near Bennington in Shaftesbury, Vermont. And I think of it always as my Yiddish Hyannis sport, because as a kid, I so admired the Kennedys as a family having a place to get together to enjoy one another. So our Hyannis sport is called the Gully in Vermont, and July 27th, my actual birthday, it was just my kids and grandkids, my wife, my kids and grandkids, and it was heaven.
What do you think it is about your shows that have resonated and continued to resonate with people generation after generation of television audiences?
I think we did a fair job simply showing life, family life, as we thought we saw it and observed living it. Human nature is human nature. I don't think anything has changed in human nature. I would expect any audience to laugh at Archie Bunker and Edith as much and as well today as any other time. There was nothing, because it's about family life. I don't think I think the culture has shifted and changed and moved and so forth. But family, the way families experience life is pretty much the same. And those performances are glorious.
They really are. Being that One Day at a Time was such a beloved revival, would you consider revisiting another show of yours? And if so, which one would you like to give a modern twist to?
I wish Brent was still with us, because we are doing it. We are doing another one. I'm trying to remember which two shows. And I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to, at the risk of making a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
With Jimmy Kimmel, bless him and his friendship and partnership, we are doing another
revival.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. So speaking of Archie, I want to ask if I can talk about your relationship with South Park, because I'm a big fan and I know that you've appeared on the show numerous times, and I have always thought that Eric Cartman was a modern day version of Archie Bunker. And I'm wondering if you can shed some light on that. Having appeared on the show, knowing the creators, can you discuss that at all?
I guess I certainly can. There's nobody in our business I have admired more over a long time than Trey Parker and his, why am I forgetting the name?
Matt Stone.
Yeah, and Matt Stone, but I know Trey a good deal better. As a matter of fact, I flew to Hawaii once because I am a reverend in the Universal Life Church. I flew to Hawaii and I married Trey. I couldn't, I've never laughed harder or enjoyed more friendship than with Trey and Matt.
Oh, that's wonderful. Are you currently consuming any new television shows? And if so, what are you watching these days?
Unfortunately, I find myself watching too much news. Not that I have a problem with the way it's done, but this time in America, causes me constantly to think about my kids and grandkids, who I feel everybody's kids and grandkids are threatened by in America. I had not at all foreseen coming. And, but as a kid, when there was well, earlier as a young man, there's a Jerry Falwell, Jimmy Swaggart, Pat Robertson, and these figures mixing politics and religion scared the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the reason why there is a People for the American Way. I think I mentioned this earlier. And if I did as I think I did, that's another proof of 100.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about that. Was your awareness of anti-Semitism as a child something that impacted the work that you created and continued to create today?
When I was 9 years old, my father was sent to prison for attempting to sell some bonds that turned out to be fraudulent or something. And there was a Father Coughlin, a priest, had a big radio audience. My father gone, listening to Father Coughlin, just scared the hell out of me. Viciously anti-Semitic. And that had a lot to do with the course of my life and career.
What would you consider, or what do you hope?
Let me just say, I'm remembering later on when I had started People for the American Way and so forth. And Jerry Falwell called me the #1 enemy of the American family in our generation, which that and the fact that I was on Nixon's enemies list were 2 badges of honor I could never forget.
I can only imagine. So that actually just answered my question, because which I was going to say is, what would you consider to be, or what would you like your greatest legacies to be remembered by as we celebrate your 100th birthday? How would you like people to mark this occasion and think of Norman Lear?
You can say that I made Richard Nixon's enemy list.
That's great. Thank you very much for that. Is there any person in particular that you're looking forward to seeing in your special? Because now that I know that you haven't seen it yet, so is there
isn't anyone I'm not looking forward to seeing in that special?
That's great. My final question for you would be, if you could reunite one of your casts, present, past, for one time, what particular episode and what particular cast would you like to revisit one more time?
Well, I don't have to talk about what I like, because I reflect on all kinds of scenes all the time that continue to pleasure me, and as I'm fond of thinking and saying and believing, adding time to my life. But certainly, two things come to mind first. One is Carol O'Connor as Archie Bunker, singing God Bless America, after a big fight with the meathead with that scene, and then he rushes forward toward camera and sings that song. The other is Beatrice Arthur as Maud, singing My Way. It was, and a line before it she stepped out at an event in their hometown, she was introducing Paul Anka's chauffeur, who was going to sing My Way. And her husband, Walter, from the Wings says, Maudie's not here, but he hasn't shown you sing. And she says, I can't sing that. That's Paul Anka. He says, you'll sing it better than Paul Anka. She said, but it was the guy, the guy who was supposed to sing it at Paul Anka's was named something, but Fontazou was his last name. And he said, she said, Sinatra sings that. And Walter from the Wings, her husband, says, you sing better than Sinatra. Oh, please, Walter. You know, Fontazou is going to say, you sing better than Swanson. The way B. Arthur turned to him in the Wings and said, better than Fontazou? Oh, God, how I delight in remembering that always. And then she sang it.